Hello, my name's Mark Cousins and I'm a filmmaker. I'm best known for the story of film, and I made Women Make Film, Big Histories of Cinema. And I'm talking to you from Edinburgh, Scotland, the capital of Scotland. And I'd like to say, first of all, hello to movie lovers of Montenegro. I've never been to Montenegro, but I've been in the countries around it, and I've long wanted to go. So I know you're great movie lovers there, some of you. So thank you for listening to me. I've been asked some questions and I thought I would just answer them one at a time, if that's okay. You hear that outside my window? Okay, the first question is this one. What is your opinion of film as an educational tool? I think cinema isn't really about learning. I think cinema is closer to magic and myth than it is to the classroom or the lecture theatre. I think cinema isn't at all good at teaching us about the most painful things in life. Those of us who know what war is know that cinema can never make us feel the intensity or the fear of war. It's too safe. But cinema is very good at teaching other things. It's very good at making us feel what it's like to stand in another place, to lose ourselves, to not be the center of our own universe. When I'm in a movie, I sort of forget who I am, what social class I am, what gender I am, what sexuality I am, everything. And I sort of get into the mind of other human beings. And getting into the mind of other human beings is surely educational in its broadest sense. The next question is this one. Where does your passion for film lie? In writing, directing, or analysing? My passion definitely lies in directing. See this thing here? This camera, this frame. I love filming. I don't love being on camera. I love being behind the camera. And I love imagery. At school, I was not good at writing or reading, but I was very good at imagery, at visual thinking. And so it's the filming aspect itself, the turning the camera on aspect, which I love. And when I'm actually filming, I feel I'm sort of in a zone, the way that sports people say that they're in a zone. I feel a bit hypnotized by the filming process. Question 3. Who was the biggest film influence from your early age? Well, I can answer that visually because his name is written here on my arm, Orson Welles. I saw Orson Welles' films on TV in Belfast in Northern Ireland, where I grew up. I came from a sort of working class family, not a lot of culture, not a lot of books, but there was TV, and on TV I saw these Aladdin's caves, these jewel-like Baroque cathedral films, and they were directed by Orson Welles. And that Orson Welles made me understand that cinema was about visual thinking, and it was about ideas and story together. And I ended up making a film about Orson Welles, and in fact I'll show you something. This is one of the boots of Orson Welles. I bought it on the internet. The last boot he had, he was a very big man. You can see how thick his ankles are. And this is the orthotic in his boot. And this is his sock. So it's quite almost fetishistic, but I feel when I have this, I am really close to the physical presence of Orson Welles. Next question is, if you devised a film school, what would it be like? Well, I sort of have devised a film school, to be honest. I did something online called 40 Days to Learn Film. 40 Days to Learn Film. And I imagined, what could we learn about cinema in 40 days? It's still there online. For me, a film school, my ideal film school would have no walls, no seminar rooms, no lecture theatres. It wouldn't have a building at all. You learn film in the world. You learn how to make film by responding to the sensory feeling of being alive. The sun is getting dark here, and that moment when the sun gets low and the light is twilight is magical. Perceiving that is filmmaking. Realizing working in places where you've never worked before, whether it's a refugee camp or a food bank or something like that. This is learning to make cinema. Understanding the complexity of the world, the social complexity, the political complexity, the spiritual complexity, the aesthetic complexity of the world, I would say. So experiential. For me, a film school should be experiential. You need to feel exhausted at the end of the day when you're learning to make film. Have you seen any old Yugoslavian films? Have I seen any old Yugoslavian films? Yeah, I mean, I have. I haven't seen loads, but I have seen some of the films of Lordan Zafranovic, and I think he's great. I think, really great filmmaker. I saw a film called Handcuffs by Christo Papic, I remember, black and white film. And I think it was made in 1969, and I thought it was fantastic. I remember in particular there's a rape scene where the man forces himself on her and then he crawls with his fingers on top of her, and it's like he's an insect or something. So that's very good. Of course, I like the films of Dusan Makavejevic. I like the sort of daringness of them, their sort of playfulness, etc. So that is very good. What other older Yugoslav films? I've seen lots of Balkan films, so maybe this comes into my next question. The last question, number 6, is what are your favourite Balkan films? Now, I presume if you consider the Balkans, you can consider all the former Yugoslav countries, like Bosnia, for example. And of course, I've seen No Man's Land from Bosnia, and I've seen some of the great documentaries made in Bosnia. From Romania, I like lots of Romanian films. I like a female filmmaker called Malvina Urseanu. I like her work. More recently, Radu Juda made an amazing film called I Don't Care If We Go Down in History as Barbarians, which I loved. In Albanian cinema, I like Albanian cinema, and I particularly like the films of Vinka Jeljaskova. She made a number of films with children, and my friends in Albania introduced me to her, and I like her work. In Bulgaria, of course, I like the Goat Horn, both Goat Horns, these classic films that many Bulgarians think are some of the best ever made. I also like the films of Binka Jeljaskova, another female filmmaker. I like her film. She's got one called The Inflated Balloon or something. I can't remember the exact title of it. It's a metaphorical film about a balloon floating over a village, and it's very funny and it's very surreal and Dadaist, and I really like that film. Loads. Do we include Greece in the Balkans? If so, I like some Greek films, very much. Of course, the most famous Greek filmmaker abroad is Angelopoulos, and I like some of his films very much. So that's the last question. So I am sure I haven't said anything too interesting here, but I'm pleased and honoured to be asked to talk to you and share some of my thoughts about cinema. Cinema, after all, is an international language. You might not have been to my country, and I might not have been to your country, but we've all been to the planet of cinema. It is a universal place. A place with no rules. Those of us who love cinema, we all belong to this place of no rules, no control, of absolute liberty visual liberty and personal liberty. So your films are my films, and my films are your films. Good luck, and thank you very much for listening. Bye.